confirmed she would be top pick or ban. Why? Because she's so good at dealing with tanks. She's so good at dealing with like slower frontline
especially
heroes.
Fredrin, right?
Yeah.
Fredrin jungle,
She's, like,
you'll put a Juicin in there.
For dealing with like Fredrin, Baxia, heroes like that. But she just got released when Assassins became the thing.
Fair.
Which
fair.
dropped a lot of her utility.
Absolutely, I can definitely agree with that. But now we're gonna be bringing us back into the draft between Team Liquid PH versus Homeboys. We're looking at a Moskov, Arlet, as well as a Zusk. Thank you. No more boring Zusk. While we're looking at a Chip and a Roger being thrown right into the banning pool. It's essentially just about the annoyingness of some of these heroes, except for Arlet, which is not something that I would have expected in one of the first few bans.
I think typically you get rid of Arlet when you don't want to allow your opponent a hero that has playmaking ability but also sustain in the direct like 1v1 in lane, right? We unfortunately encountered a situation where Yetri really wasn't contributing very much in game number 1, even though Terizla usually plays a pretty crucial role. So I think they're taking away Arlet because the final slash is just going to be useful regardless.
This is a very interesting ban, right? Because one of them, this is an assassin meta. This is an assassin meta. Ling is not bad.
Yeah.
We talked about the Ling. We get the Ling.
Finally, right? I mean, we were talking about it right before we went into this. We were
We
also
talked about
talking about the
Jushin. We
Jushin.
get
Jushin.
Here, this is the thing, right? With the Zask being banned out, Jushin is a really good pick up. Because usually in that mid lane, when they go in for the clear, the Jushin has a big problem against the Zask because of the lack of range.
Exactly.
So this has played out quite perfectly, honestly, and I'm really excited to see how this pans out. Harith now being picked up.
Okay, so I kind of definitely dig that. Now, with the Juicin being picked out, and we have talked about this many times before, whenever you have a Juicin in mid, you don't have very good wave clear. So you gotta have to go for this tag team scenario between the mage and the roamer. So you gotta have to pick out heroes that that possesses or requires the concussive blast. Unfortunately, Edith is definitely one of those those said heroes. But Homeboys have already set up with the Harith for themselves, which pretty much tells us that they are really looking out for the Minotaur.
Yeah, some of the more obvious hero picks that you would want to pair together with the Zeusin would be, like you mentioned, Edith, Grok, Minotaur. So Edith has already been taken away by Liquid to make sure they don't have access to that. Still a very strong hero as well that can be flexed, and
Faramis.
they get the Faramis as well. We know how strong Faramis is in teams that like to team fight.
So that's the thing, right? Because earlier on, the Valentina was still left open. And I was like, sure, that should be the pick for TLPH, the Valentina. But they picked up the Faramis. And then I was like, oh, okay, because Homeboys picking up the Zushin, obviously they can't go for the Valentina anymore. And I think a lot of teams, even in MPL, PH, MPLs, and MSCs, just all these really high tier tourneys, they still kind of forget to ban out the Valentina when you go for the Faramis. So now TLPH, they're going in a direction where, are they going for more team fight now?
I was saying that this is kind of like a situation whereby they don't have to be too afraid of rushing into the face of Homeboys, especially since they're dealing with Juicin, they're dealing with Harith. They would want to close the gaps as fast as possible, and they are most likely also expecting this Minotaur from the side of Homeboys. So I won't be surprised that even they themselves not ban the Minotaur. But what I'm surprised is Homeboys themselves banning the Minotaur.
If Homeboys themselves ban the Minotaur, it leads you to think that they may want a Grok instead. But looks like they went for Ruby, which is one of the heroes that Maul is a bit more comfortable playing. So maybe they're just going for a bit more of a pocket strat here.
Okay. This is not the conventional draft, the trio draft that we expect to see, right? Juicin, a jungler, Juicin, Harith, and a Minotaur. This three, very stable.
But do you not think that the Ruby is flex? Is this not flex for Homeboys?
It's possible, but I don't personally think so. We'll have to see for the last pick to confirm. I personally do think that Maul plays Ruby a little bit more than Yetri. It's not like Yetri doesn't play it, but I'm just going off of player preference here. So with the Carmilla locked in and the Claude, yeah, Liquid is going for team fight.
Yeah, so now that we are looking at Claude, we could very definitely look and expect EXP laners, which innately uses Vengeance very well, which we have come to the point where we have seen the high loss XP with Vengeance, or back in the previous seasons, we have been looking at a, what's that again? Thamus. Thamus with the vengeance. And especially since Homeboys right now, their jungle is an alpha, it could lean a little bit more towards a Thamus in the EXP, and that is definitely nice and dandy, but that would also mean that they don't really have a lot of crowd control to work with.
Yeah, I'm thinking setup hero here, right? I mean, I guess they do have the Ruby to go for that setup, but in that kind of regard, they would lack.
Wipe out all the injustice
Okay,
in the world.
Joe, I was thinking something like the CC, if they want a little bit more damage.
Okay.
You were talking about Vengeance, I think CC Vengeance,
Vengeance CC,
plays
yes.
quite well together, especially against the Claude. We've seen actually Claude find problems against CC Vengeance. But Cho, what do we think about this Cho?
I have not seen Mulch play Cho very often, so I'm not too certain about his overall skill level with it. Hey,
Yeah.
Homeboys have surprised us before in the past, though, and maybe I'm forgetting something here or there. Mal has played a lot of different roles in the past. He's actually quite a veteran in MPL NY, so maybe he could surprise us.
I think there's one thing to note, right? On top of that is they needed someone to lock down the lane. We saw what Carl Tizzy was able to do on the Hayabusa, and maybe they're coming in with a little bit of PTSD. So the Cho single target should be able to deal with the Ling, and I think that's what they're expecting. But of course, everything can change in the Land of Dawn, and it all depends on execution.
Now, good that you said that, because now my question is, even if they have the single target lockdown coming from Cho, do we have someone that really works as a battery together with Cho to really fully utilize that entire time lockdown? Will Juicin be able to do enough damage? Will Nats be able to do enough damage? That is the question coming in to this game number 2 between Team Liquid Philippines versus Homeboys.
Team Liquid Philippines on the blue side, Homeboys on the red. Liquid currently 1 game up after an impressive game number 1. And already starting off game 2 with JP actually taking quite a lot of damage in the mid lane.
Now, we always wanted to see and talk about the fact that whenever you have the Juicin, you want someone to be able to clear waves in the middle lane fast enough, and you're gonna have to expect that Mal and Udil will be the battery. Well, Udil completely just keeps on going on and on with the very annoying pokes, and Mal just focuses on the lanes.
Mal going to be able to do quite a lot of poking already. While I personally haven't seen a lot of Mal playing Cho recently, I also have to note that I haven't seen a lot of Mal playing at all recently in the first place. So my memory could not be what it used to be. And once again, we see JP getting pulled in. Alpha charge. First blood by Amal instantly. Tempest the Blaze being used by Carl Tizzy. Actually dropping Homeboys really low. And the immediate double for Carl Tizzy.
That was that 4-blade Carl Tizzy that we want to see, that we haven't really been able to see. But in the meantime, we have also managed to see how Homeboys set up for the Jit Kundo. So whenever you see that Udil is pretty much preparing with the lantern, you know that someone is going to be tossed right back. It's perfect time.
Udil dropping real low. Mal gonna be looking for JP. It doesn't have level 4 yet, so not gonna be able to kick them into the tower. Homeboy started off really nicely, but Liquid have already gained a lead by giving Carl Tizzy an early kill.
Right off the bat, with 2 minutes into the game, with the turtle currently available, Homeboys is the one that is trying to grasp that priority for themselves.
Carl Tizzy gonna be focused here again. Mal doesn't have level 4, but JP gonna be pulled forward once again. Carmilla, definitely a hero that Zeus can abuse. The Udil gonna be forced to use ultimate since he is very deep in. Actually chasing JP down, gets the kill. NetherRealm a little bit too late, but enough to get rid of Udil. Sanji gonna take some damage. Earth Shatter gonna stop Homeboys from advancing, and now they're gonna wanna look to back off and peel here. Sampler pops the Primal Wrath out for charge, gonna CC him once again. Mal doing a good job, gonna trade his life for that, but ends up giving Sanji the killing spree. 3 kills on the Paramis.
Feels like they're overstaying their welcome, Homeboys that is, and they pretty much will be looking at Sanford just peeling for the team crazily.
Ooh, Sanji doing God's work right now. Gonna be able to get the final hit with the Shadow Stampede. He may pay for it. Nope. He walks out with literally an empty health bar. Even rejoins the fight to make sure they're able to take the turtle. He gets it! Sanji, the man! Showing that you don't need help to contest the objective at all. And the rest of Liquid just walk away. Looks like they'll be able to pick up JP. Way of the Dragon lands, pulls him back. Not enough damage, but they will finish him.
At least a Crimson Beacon was up and available for the side of Udil to really do something. But Carl Tizzy seems to be really wanting to bite on this bait, but that's not gonna be happening. But that is definitely all fine and dandy from the side of Team Liquid PH. Sanji already starting the game with a total of 4 kills and stealing the turtle. That's quite a name for himself.
We already know that every single member of Liquid can become a beast as long as they're able to snowball, and looks like Sanji already on the path to doing so. Ferrum is definitely a hero he's quite comfortable with, able to pick off Amal and even steal the turtle at 0 HP.
One thing that I remember is the fact that Udil that's playing as the Juicin is exceptionally good when opening up the brushes. You do have the range that you can just kind of scan around onto these brushes to ensure that your team just don't get caught all that often. And I absolutely respect that. I love that. But how exactly is Homeboys going to be making full use of that concept?
Oh, I do think they want to go for a little more aggressive play. I mean, if you're able to pull someone in or way of the dragon someone, Amal does do a lot of burst damage. So ideally, they want to snowball on the alpha, but he's already died twice, so not a good start for them.
Good point there, because now we were asking about the question, do they even have enough damage? We want to see the battery going on.
Maul gonna get pulled over the wall once again. Sanford gonna get I'm Offended over the wall as well. Nether Realm gonna be used. So is the Zeus and ult. Kaltizi comes to join Alpha Charge. Amal not able to get over the wall, so he gets knocked up. It is absolute chaos here in the river, but Sanford gonna trade for Amal, and now Kaltizi gets free reign to jump into the back line. Gonna be able to dash away just barely. Yeah, Tree getting the movement speed, not enough to chase him down. He just dashes away, and Liquid come out on top again.
This fight is a testament to how much damage Homeboys really have, and it's really tough for them to deal with. Even if Nets come in, he did drop the Zaman Force, but he can't even catch up to get any kills. It has been a long, drawn-out fight for Homeboys. So now they gotta have to crack themselves the questions. Where are they getting the damage from? Will Yetri gotta have to open himself up even more in order to join into these battles? How are they supposed to supplement even more? Will Udil need to change his items a bit? How about Amal?
You do typically encounter a little bit of difficulty when you're playing more of a pick-off style comp and the enemy team has a fair miss, right? You just pop the Nether Realm at the right time and whoever is being targeted will be saved. So Homeboys needs to kind of manipulate the map in a way where Liquid is split apart, and I'm not really sure they have the tools to do that.
Now the next question, hold on a second.
Yep. Sanford gonna get pulled in. Nether Realm gonna be used once again. Homeboy's not in a good position for this yet. Tree gonna be the first target, immediately picked off. Monster kill for Sanji. Ness in the front line with the Zaman Force doing some good damage, but is it going to be enough? Sanford gonna need to flicker out, but gets caught by the way of the dragon, and there's no more Nether Realm, so they will finally punish the Edith. Mal now has to run away. Benny gonna dash forward with the BMI, picks him off. Turtle now gonna be the target of Liquid. They are beautifully balancing aggro and juggling Homeboys as Amal gonna fall victim again. Turtle stolen by Kaltizi, and he gets a double kill on top of that. This man's greed knows no bounds.
No, that fight just further solidified that the Juicin just doesn't deal enough damage at all. Yes, the Juicin is very annoying. You're constantly flying up, especially for the side of JP. He is on the receiving end. He's constantly flying into the sky, being slammed down, flying in the sky, slammed down. But we're talking about Camilla. Camilla is pretty tanky and even built up the Radiant armor. You are not in the slightest afraid of this Juicin.
Net's gonna take some damage. Kaltizi targeting him. Tempest of Blades comes out. Nether Realm so that they can dive the tower. Godlike streak for Kaltizi. And Homeboy just disappears. It happens so quickly. Yeah, Tree not gonna make it in time to save them. Just gonna try to defend the tower. Uses I'm Offended to clear the wave. But he is stuck 1v4. Udil too far back to protect him. That's a free tower on top of 3 kills.
The crit damage is definitely building up over to the side of Kaltizi. With a single finch poise, or rather a single stab, allows him to just take probably half HP away from Nets. Well, maybe that's an over-exaggeration, but you pretty much see that point. Team Liquid PH managing to take away the tier 1 in the middle lane, ensuring that Homeboys now will have a lot more issues to try to get themselves priority over the river, or perhaps even their own buff. Amal, you're gonna have to watch out for this.
A 6k net worth difference at 8 minutes is pretty big though. You can see Udil still being annoying. Oh, nice I'm Offended onto 2 members. Sanji dropping low, shut down on a Pyramis before the Nether Realm is available. Primal Wrath not gonna save Sanford. This is a chance for Homeboy. But look at the blazing duet! It is doing so much damage! Benny Cutie just fillets the Homeboys like they are the most delicious piece of meat they've ever seen. A double kill for Kaltizi. He's looking for Udil. I don't think he'll job for this. The job's already done.
That was hands down just foresight coming in from Team Liquid PH. They understood that they can just throw Sanford, throw JP, let them peel everything, ensure their homeboys use everything in their arsenal just to bring these two BP men down. And once all of these ultimates, all of these skills has been depleted, especially when it comes down to the Way of the Dragon, as well as the Spear of Alpha, there's no one that can come in to really stop Benny and Kaltizi. 2 for 4 trade, very much worth it.
And Kaltizi's jumping in again, wants to contest the purple buff right after getting the Lord. They'll get it too. Curse of Blood, zoning out homeboys. Flicker, Earth Shatter, Primal Wrap comes out, and Kaltizi just jumps straight in, blazing to another realm. Liquid is not being punished for this at all, but Sanji and Sanford will eventually get finished off. Carl, you probably don't want to go for this, sir. Health's a bit too low, but it's still a win for Liquid.
Just play within your box. That is what homeboys gotta have to do at this point in time. You gotta have to supplement the lack of damage from your team by playing safe, defensive, and you gotta have to wave clear as much as possible. But unfortunately, that is the problem. If you want to play within of your turrets, you gotta have to be ready for all of these waves to be crashing in. Do you really have got the ability to be able to clear all these waves fast enough? You have Nats. Nats is not necessarily all that great in clearing waves aside from the Synchro Vision. You will want Amal as well as Year 3 to really pop off. As much as I want to see a sustained Year 3, I purely and I solely believe there must be some sort of risk involved in Ruby's itemization where he gotta have to build a tad bit more damage in order to clear these waves.
The problem is there's just way too... Oh, well, here goes Kaltizi again. Even Tempest of Blades forcing multiple resources out from the homeboys. Under their own tower, the threat that Liquid poses to the red base right now is huge. And we can see just how much of a net worth difference they have in total. Homeboys just have no items, and we can see that. I'm offended, pulls Sanji in, but he doesn't care. He's got NetherRealm, blazing duet, just dismantles the backline. Homeboys disintegrates like they're an ice cube melting in the sunlight, and Liquid are the ones shining down the light. The inhibitor is just gonna fall one by one. Homeboys can do nothing about this. They're trying their best. Call once again on top of net. Zaman Force used defensively. The last inhibitor gonna be taken out, and Tempest of Blades will finish off Maul on top of it. Homeboys can do nothing but watch as Liquid just runs into their house like it's their own.
It has been a long time since I've seen Claude's blazing duet just run on by like a hot knife through butter. Homeboys, it's not like their composition is fragile or flimsy or anything. It's just this Claude is dealing a massive amount of damage. His current, he does have a current economy of about, let's see, 9.9 thousand gold alongside of Kaltizi with a total of 12,000 gold. That sets them up way above. Of course, being able to finish the Holy Trinity alongside of the Malefic Roar really gives Benny all of that damage output that he absolutely needs. Team Liquid PH, they are not afraid to do the same thing again by playing investments. Throw Sanford, throw JP right in the face of homeboys, let them take the bait, and then Benny is ready and raring to go together with Kaltizi.
And they don't particularly mind losing players like Sanford either, because they are so rich at this point that it will still take the homeboys a long time to even whittle through their health bars, and all that is time given to Benny and Kaltizi. Lord gonna be claimed easily. Homeboys unfortunately don't have a composition that can really push the map.
I need everyone to remember, or not remember, but pay attention to the fact that we have a double remote boot coming in from the side of Team Liquid PH, namely Sanford as well as JP. They know that they want to funnel all of these gold over to Kaltizi and Benny. Sanford is really just there for a sandbag. You don't need any items from him. We just need Sanford as well as JP go in and unfortunately take all the damage for the team.
And that's what they're doing. We can see Udil trying to pick someone off, but it's not working. Carl even just dashing away from another Alpha Spear being used by Amal. Liquid are basically just toying with the homeboys, and with the Lord now looking to push in, we could be witnessing the end of the series. Can homeboys defend this? We'll find out. Lord gonna take some damage, gonna try and pull it away, but homeboys really just don't have a solid enough front line to do so. Maul not gonna find anything yet. Tree gonna immediately engage. A nice catch, but NetherRealm gonna be used with the Blazing Duet to just again cut through the homeboys. Sanji and Sanford have already bit the bullet, but Liquid, they just clear it up. It's a wipeout. It's no problem at all. Triple kill again for Carl TZ on top of a monster kill by Benny. And we can see that Liquid is just too much for the homeboys.